G'day everyone and welcome back to Miwuvcraft. I'm Arcane and thank you for joining me on this wonderful adventure of absolute nightmarish intentions. Because that's the only way to describe what I have been doing today. Aside from the fact that I edited episode 11 yesterday and I completed episode 11.5 today, and the fact that I discovered I could schedule 11.5 to come out on Monday instead of having to pop out today, which is a wonderful way to confuse my own self on a Friday. So, yes, I've got a couple more videos to edit. However, I'm pretty much up to date, so I'm going to start recording again. Yep, hooray! Everything I've been doing, aside from recording, has been building, resource gathering, and building. However, today I have spent my wonderful day, aside from editing that video, doing something that is absolutely in over my head on. I have no idea what I'm doing, but let's go look. Welcome to the sugarcane farm. So it's a pretty basic feature that I'm working with. It's pretty much water, then mud on top of some hoppers, then more water, then hoppers, water, hoppers. Mud means anything that falls on the mud will go straight in. I'm using glowstone to light the place up. I need to get a lot more glow. Ooh, that lag spike. That lag spike was this operating. I should have been paying more attention. The original idea was this sort of setup where it would grow, hit the observer, and I had redstone on top of the observer in an attempt to make it so it continuously activated. However, to my absolute horror, that didn't work. So I had to come up with an ulterior solution. This is what I've got running for me at the moment. I have it so it goes one. Oop, I broke that. Oop, I lost it. Oop, that's not good. Oh well, I sort of need that specific one. So that's an observer one. So we sort of need that to be operating. So the sugarcane reaches 3. It activates 1. So sugarcane hits 3. One of the activated observer activates, activating a heap of redstone dust. And the redstone dust activates multiple lines of the hoppers. I'm designing it in a modular fashion. However, I am concerned because I have never done redstone before. This is my biggest scale of redstone building than I've ever done. Sure, the sticky piston activating the redstone line, and then the redstone lines powering the hoppers through the block seems simple enough, and yet I have no idea what I'm doing. And I reckon give it a day or two and this entire thing is going to be broken. However, my attempt, if it does work, absolutely horrifies me. So each row is 32. I have 13 full lines of sugarcane. So I have more than 400 sugarcane placed. My concern is the fact that having that much sugarcane already down means I would have that much sugarcane coming in. That would, if everything currently was to activate and break on 3 blocks, that would be like 800 sugarcane at a time. I am set for gunpowder and paper. Therefore, I am set for rockets. I'm still horrified. The resources required upstairs is absolutely enormous. That I'm sure everyone's noticed that I am missing rows of glowstone off the fact that I just don't have access to the glowstone yet. Like, sure, I can trade, but I need more emeralds to get glowstone off the villages, and I've only got 2 of those villages, so that's a lot of glowstone that I require. So my resource requirements are wood and glowstone. Both of those are the resources that I'm struggling on my own to acquire. I have been running the hopper line in just a line. However, down here I've got hoppers that I'm going to have to maneuver around to avoid. I'll wait to get closer this way with the resources I have. While I'm going, I may as well break my wonderful 204 blocks of diamond ores down to see what I get. Who doesn't love breaking diamond ores down with a fortune pick? I've obviously mined a fair bit to get 204 diamond ores. As for how much I'm hoping to get, I'm hoping I get about 400. 2 diamonds per ore would make me quite happy. If I get 500 diamonds out of this, that is worth celebrating over. Here we go, 204. I've just reached the profit stage, so every diamond from here is additional. I wouldn't be a good Minecrafter if I didn't take the advantage of this to repair my tools. Every tool has its own requirements. 459 out of 204. That, I don't think, is a bad option. 51 diamond blocks out of that. Not too shabby if I say so myself. I've had to put my specials chest down here, which can be hidden with a block, due to the fact that my end chest is currently prepared for the end. I haven't unsorted the chest out. That's not an issue, however. There's talks again of us attempting to all see if we can do the end again. So either way, there's a chance it will happen soon. And I might as well take some nether brick blocks with me. Blocks of choice. I mean, if I take 4 stacks into the end just for the sake of having blocks, then I don't think I'm doing too poorly. And if I just keep running around and doing this, my sugarcane is just automatically growing on its own. Like, I don't care if I've got losses. Because look at how much sugarcane I'm already getting. The amount of rockets I can make just by running around and manually doing the sugarcane is enough to man an entire server with the rockets. I will say that if this does work the way I want it to, this is the biggest and most compact sugarcane farm I have ever made, because it is a lot more squished in than any of my previous sugarcane farms. I've been working back here. I've put down slabs, so now nothing can spawn down here, keeping in mind that a lot of this, to about here, the shadows are all in 0 light on their own. Like, the light level here is 4. There's a 3 here. Like, along here, it's light level 0 for the sky. So, everything spawns here. So, I've gone, I can't stop things from spawning. So let's just put slabs down. That'll halt their spawn progress. So now nothing can spawn down here on me. Day or night. I want to do a tree farm as well. Off the basis that getting wood is actually very difficult, and I sort of need a source of wood because the amount of hoppers that I need is horrendous. And I'm only sure that I'm going to need even more hoppers and more chests in the near future. Please help me. Someone. Please. I beg of you. Save me from this torment, this turmoil that I suffer from. Still, tree farm is on my agenda, as is figuring out if a moss farm is possible. I'm currently taking a break from the horrific acts occurring on the other side of the ocean, the river here. Like, look at that. Look at it slowly load in. Slowly loading in. It's only getting taller and taller, and I'm just going, oh no, what have I done? What have I done? This is horrible. I'm scared. I've just been scaring myself lately, clearly. Someone needs to put me out of my misery before I just give myself a heart attack. I'm sure that'll end up happening at some point the way I'm going. To be fair, I have done quite a lot on this mountain already. Allow me to give you the proper tour. Aside from, this is where I've been collecting the stone from. So here is the entrance. My nice little staircase up, my walkway. A mini chest monster that I've been working on. Full with dirt, and it's actually needing stone, so I'm going to have to do more mining at some point. I actually need to rework how I'm mentally doing this. I now need 5 blocks of space for each wall. And that alone is horrifying to think about, because that means either this goes backwards or this goes that way. However, I'm comfortable saying that this church is going to be very nice and aesthetically appeasing added on top of this mountain. I do believe that the terraining will be the nicest part. I am of the opinion that I'm better at terraining than I am at building buildings. I still need to do stuff in the ocean here for terrain. Just some nice aesthetical add-ons, like some water jutted rocks in the middle there. Maybe some closer to the base and along the shoreline. There's also the chance that I'm going to need to create an entire new path along this ocean for people who just want to walk around. Some bunnies I've been working on. Trying to keep it in theme, so it's a white bunny, pink eyes, and a blue fluffy tail. I'm just not sure if I need to work into some shadowing gradients, but I'm not concerned at the moment. I'm also concerned as to what scale this mountain is going to take up. How far that way am I going to go? How far that way am I going to go? I am mildly concerned about the possibilities that this mountain has. Currently, I believe that way is the most unknown. Because sure, this way, I run into terrain that I've got to deal with. However, I'm pretty sure my mountain is going to go up again around here. I do not know how tall this mountain's going to be. I don't know the scale this mountain's going to go. I don't know where the crests will be. I'm just winging it for the sake of a better word. I've been working on the port here. Dark oak and deep slate. And I've been adding further bits of terrain. I may as well add even more terrain around. After all, if I'm going to do some terrain, I may as well go all into it. Like, if you look from the pagoda here, that looks... I like how that goes. I could almost curve it around a bit more. I could even add a tree to it. And have like a small tree in the middle of the bunnies. That would look nice. So yeah, there's a lot that I can do to this area. I have basically signed the entire section here up to a session of horrific acts by Arcane in the form of terrain. I don't know how this will turn out. There's a lot of finger crossing going on, and semi-praying that it works out in the end. So I have 7 rows completed. 7 rows of automation has now been reached with my wonderful sugarcane farm. This method seems to be working. Nothing has broken yet, which is, in all honesty, a surprise to me. I expected everything to break within an hour, but it hasn't. Over the past couple of days, I have been occasionally going AFK in the farm itself, simply for the sake of letting the sugarcane tick up. I wasn't sure if being in the mob grinder would allow random ticks to occur, so I thought I'd just AFK in the actual farm itself. It has not been a bad option. I mean, have a look at all this. This is more than enough sugarcane. So the supply that I have of sugarcane right now is actually almost perfect. However, I only have 7 completed rows. This side is operational, so we could say 8 completed rows. And I still have 24 rows to create and complete. So I've got a quarter of the farm completed, and it's already working optimally. I would be content leaving it at the 7. However, I've just discovered... Well, not that I've just discovered, but I've come to terms with one crucial fact. Emeralds and villager trading. Down in the storage area, I have the intention of dumping a bunch of villagers. Some for zombie flesh, some for string, and now I think I'm going to need quite a few for paper. Like, you can't tell me that this isn't a bad way to get emeralds. I just have to go up to my villagers and look for who's giving. and go from there. Like, I'm thinking I totally should have done this instead of the zombie grinder. However, this isn't a bad method on its own. Having both as an option is probably acceptable, of the fact that the zombie grinder does give me a bunch of TNT. Gonna grab some bottles of enchanting. I'm gonna have a stack in the ender chest as backup electromagnetic for when I go to the end. Well, I was getting some losses. I noticed that some of the sugarcane was not actually going down into the chutes. So I was thinking if I do glass instead of full blocks, it might look nicer. At some point I might change all the blocks into... See, it operated. As I was talking, it decided to go pop. And all it needs is one of the redstone lines to be powered, and you get two sides of the same area or activating. One thing that I have a question of in my mind, however, is how far does the redstone line go? It goes quite a fair way down, actually. Like, look at that. The back end goes almost halfway. I thought it was 8. My understanding of redstone has just been thrown out the window. The part of this farm that is actually slowing my production of it down is the ability to go out and fetch more wood. After all, those hoppers, in the quantity that are being used, are expensive. Did I say hoppers? Those pistons, in the quantity of how they're being used, are expensive. Every double line is a stack of 64. Because it's one row of 32, another row of 32, so it's exactly 64. Each of these double bricked working spots are just a stack of materials. So look at the pistons. 6 stacks of pistons. Last I checked, that is not a cheap request. The only advantage, in retrospect, is that there is an iron farm on this server near spawn that I can just hop over to and get iron from. So the hoppers are not actually that much of a issue resource-wise, because it's practically free iron right at spawn. But at the same time, it's still wood that's getting in my way. For every row, I need a stack of hoppers. So I need 7 stacks of pistons right now, and 3 stacks of hoppers. So I need a lot of wood. Sure, I can run around and deforest forests, but there's a finite limit to how much of those I can do at a time. I mean, one solution would be to go and grow some big jungle trees with all the bone meal I have access to, and then mine them. Saves me running around and hunting for jungle trees. I mean, I almost got a whole stack of that one tree. That's not a bad outcome, I don't think. From those 3 trees, I got more than 3 stacks of wood. So I do think this is a viable current method without a wood farm to still get myself that wood that I need. While I'm going, I may as well go and grab some iron. I do need some. I might take 3 blocks. 3 stacks of iron blocks will do just fine for what I need to get done. Now, I also need redstone and cobble. Righto, that's all of my wood. And that got me 4 stacks of pistons and an additional 46. I think that covers all the lines I currently have active. And the more of these I get down, the more of the sugarcane farm I can complete at any moment. I'm actually hoping that I do not start lagging worse because of the sugarcane farm. I already lag pretty badly. If I start lagging more so, that's where I know I've gone way overboard. This farm should be completed pretty soon if I can keep up with wood availability. And on that note, unless I have a reason to do another video, I think that's the end of this episode. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Miwuvcraft. Hopefully I can keep on top of all the editing and uploading and everything now. Especially since everything's not as all at once, and a lot of the building processes require a lot more in-depth aspect to them now. Once I get the sugarcane farm operating in its completeness, I may not only begin to regret everything, I may also be quite happy with my accomplishment on this very compact sugarcane farm. And on that note, I'll see you all next time.